Hello children. To begin with, after we finished with exercise 3.4, the next topic is theorem of angle between tangent and secant. Now, if you have looked at the portion that is reduced for you, standard 10, this part of the chapter is not going to be there. So, tangent secant theorem will not be there. Children, you can mark it in your textbook. From the chapter circle, so far whatever we have done up to exercise 3.4 is going to be there. Okay. Now from here, what is not there, I'll be telling you. So theorem of angle between tangent and secant, page number 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, till 82, it is not there for you. Okay. So no questions will be asked for your exam from so much portion. This is from the chapter circle. Now from the first two lessons that we have done in geometry, again there are some topics which are not going to be there. Now in your WhatsApp group, Miss will be sending you a video wherein the reduced portion is completely given. So what you can do is refer to that video and check out from chapters 1 and 2, which is a portion not there, and mark it accordingly in your textbook. So questions based on that will not be asked. Okay. Now henceforth from chapter 3 onwards, I'll be telling you as and when I do, which is a portion which is deleted. All right. So I hope from chapter 3, it is clear the portion that is deleted. We start with problem set 3. Now, problem set 3, first question, 4 alternative answers for each of the following questions are given. Choose the correct alternative. Okay. Children, before we begin with problem set 3, I would like to tell all of you that we will be having a unit test, okay, from the date that is from August 17 to 21st. So you'll be having a unit test. Now your portion for it will be chapter 1 and 2 of geometry. All right. So you will be getting a notification also regarding the same, but it's just for your information. So start preparing for it well. Lessons 1 and 2, whatever we have finished in geometry. Okay. So refer to the video that will be coming up. See the portion that is being deleted for you, that will not be asked. Okay. So first question here, two circles of radii 5.5 centimeter and 3.3 centimeter respectively touch each other. What is the distance between their centers? So the answer is option D, 8.8 or 2.2 centimeter. Why? Because if they are touching externally, you have to add the radii. So your answer comes 8.8. If they touch internally, then you have to subtract, and therefore your answer will be 2.2. So your answer is option D. Second question, two circles intersect each other such that each circle passes through the center of the other. If the distance between their centers is 12, what is the radius of each circle? So your answer will be 12 centimeter. You can try drawing this and see how it comes. Maybe roughly you can draw and see, you will get the answer correctly. Question number 3. A circle touches all sides of a parallelogram. So the parallelogram must be a rhombus. That's option B. Question number 4. Length of a tangent segment drawn from a point which is at a distance 12.5 centimeter from the center of a circle is 12 centimeter. Means tangent segment, the distance is 12 centimeter, and the distance of the point from the center, from where the tangent segment is drawn, is 12.5 centimeter. You have to find the diameter of the circle. Now I have done this for you. We'll see how to solve it. It is done like this. Now see, OA is the distance of the point from the center. A is the point from where tangent segment AB is drawn. So OA is 12.5 centimeter, AB is 12 centimeter. Now the radius is perpendicular to the tangent by tangent segment theorem. Angle OBA is 90 degrees. So the hypotenuse is OA. So from this triangle, you get OA square is equal to OB square plus AB square. Substituting the values, you have 12.5 the whole square minus 12 square. Using the formula A square minus B square, A minus B into A plus B, you get your answer 12.25. And when you find the square root to get OB, you get 3.5. Now 3.5 centimeter that you have got is the radius of the circle. The question is to find the diameter. Multiply it by 2. Your answer is 7 centimeter. So this is your answer, and that is option C. Next, we go to question number 5. Now question number 5. If two circles are touching externally, how many common tangents of them can be drawn? So when two circles touch externally, we can actually draw 3 common tangents. One which passes through maybe on the top, one at the bottom, and one in between both of them. So actually you can draw 3 tangents. Your answer is C, option C. I think in the textbook it's given B, 2, which is wrong. So your answer should be 3, option C. Next, we go to question number 6. Question number 6. Your question is, angle ACB is inscribed in the arc ACB of a circle with center O. If angle ACB is 65 degrees, find measure of the arc ACB. So angle ACB is given 65 degrees. You have to find what is the measure of the arc ACB, that is the arc in which this angle is inscribed. Now, if angle ACB is 65 degrees, how much is the measure of the arc AXB, that is the arc which subtends this angle? From inscribed angle theorem, we know that measure of the inscribed angle is half the measure of the arc that is subtending it. Therefore, angle AXB should be double the measure of the angle. So it is 130 degrees. So measure of arc ACB will be 360 minus 130. Your answer will be 230 degrees. Children, I hope you have done exercise 3.4 properly, because inscribed angle theorem is very important. The theorem as well as its application. See, if you have done it properly, you will understand the questions which are there in the problem set. Okay. So your answer is 230, which is option D. Next, question number 7 is not there in your syllabus now. It's deleted. Okay. We go to question number 8. Now question number 8 says, in a cyclic quadrilateral ABCD, twice the measure of angle A is thrice the measure of angle C. Find the measure of angle C. Now, if it's a cyclic quadrilateral, what is a property we have learned? Opposite angles, sum of opposite angles should be supplementary. That's angle A plus angle C should be 180 degrees. There's one condition that they have told us, twice the measure of angle A is thrice the measure of angle C. That means 2 times angle A is equal to 3 times angle C. So what is angle A equal to? 3 by 2 angle C. We have brought 2 as a denominator to the right hand side. So it's 3 by 2 angle C. Now substitute this value of angle A as 3 by 2 angle C in this equation. That is angle A plus angle C is 180. So 3 by 2 angle C plus angle C is 180. When you take LCM and add it, you get 5 by 2 angle C is 180. Multiply both sides by 2. You get 5 times angle C is 360. Angle C is 360 by 5. Your answer is 72 degrees. That's option B. Children, I hope it's clear. Question number 9. Points A, B, C are on a circle such that measure of the arc AB equal to measure of the arc BC equal to 120 degrees. No point except point B is common to the arcs. Which is a type of triangle ABC? So they have given you arc AB is 120 degrees, measure of arc BC is also 120. So what is the sum of arc AB plus BC? 240. Now, how to find the remaining arc AC? Subtract it from 360. 360 minus 240, you get 120. That means all three arcs are 120 degrees. If measure of the arc AB is 120 degree, what is the angle that it inscribes? That is angle ACB should be half of the measure of this arc 120, that is 60 degrees. That means angle C is 60. Similarly, you will find angle A and angle B are also 60 degrees. That means all three angles are 60, means the triangle is what kind of a triangle? Equilateral triangle. That's option A. Children, I hope it's clear. Okay. We go to question number 10. Segment XZ is a diameter of a circle. Point Y lies in its interior. How many of the following statements are true? Now there are four statements which are given in your textbook. Now this is the figure that is drawn. XZ is the diameter, point Y lies in its interior. Now if I join XY and YZ, what kind of an angle does it make? Wherever I am drawing the angle, it makes an obtuse angle, right? So now let's go and see what the options are. In your question, these are the options. It is not possible that angle XYZ is an acute angle. It's correct. Angle XYZ cannot be a right angle. Correct. Angle XYZ is an obtuse angle. Correct. Cannot make a definite statement for measure of angle XYZ. Now they are asking you how many of these statements are right. Is it only one, only two, only three, or all? So I think the first three statements are right, and therefore your answer is option C, only three. Okay. So with that we finish the MCQ questions. We go to question number 2. Line L touches a circle with center O at point P. If radius of the circle is 9 centimeter, answer the following. First one, what is distance of OP and why? What will be the distance of OP? It's nothing but the radius of the circle, and therefore it is 9 centimeters. The reason why is just that it is the radius of the circle. Second question, if distance of OQ equal to 8 centimeter, where does the point Q lie? Now OQ distance, if it is 8 centimeter, it is surely less than the radius. Therefore, the point Q will lie in the interior of the circle. So your answer will be point Q lies in the interior of the circle. Third question, if distance of PQ equal to 15 centimeter, if distance of, it shouldn't be PQ, it should be OR, okay? If distance of OR, so please change that, children. If it is given as PQ in your textbook, make it OR. So if distance of OR is equal to 15 centimeter, how many locations of point R are it should be how many such R is contained on line L. How many such R? How many such R? So you can cancel locations of point. How many such R are contained on line L? At what distance will each of them be from point P? What it basically means is question number 3. Suppose we have a line R which is lying on this line L, and the distance OR is 15 centimeter. How many such points will be there lying on this line L? That's your question. I'll show you how to do that question. It's like this. So this is your line R, P, R dash. See, the point R, it can occur twice. It can occur as R or R dash. Now this distance OR is given to you as 15 centimeters. The distance OP is 9 centimeter, that is a radius. Now the radius is perpendicular to the tangent by tangent theorem, therefore angle OPR is 90 degrees. Using Pythagoras theorem, OR square equal to OP square plus PR square. Substituting the values, you get PR square is equal to 144, and therefore taking the square root, you get PR equal to 12 centimeter. So at what distance will each of them be from the point P? So there will be 2 points R and R dash on that line, and both of them will be at a distance of 12 centimeter from the point P. That's your answer. Okay. So that's question number 2. Next, question number 3. Question number 3. In the figure, M is the center of the circle and segment KL is a tangent segment. So how much will be angle MLK? It will be 90 degrees because ML is the radius, LK is the tangent. Okay. If MK is equal to 12, KL equal to 6 root 3, find the radius of the circle. That means we have to find out what is ML. And you also have to find measure of angle K and angle M. So here we use the property 30, 60, 90 degree triangle theorem to solve that sum. So question number 3, this is the figure. Now in triangle MLK, we know angle MLK is equal to 90 degrees by tangent secant theorem. Therefore, using Pythagoras theorem, we have MK square equal to ML square plus LK square. Substituting the values, you get ML as 6. Okay, you get ML as 6. Now this ML 6 is half of MK, which is the hypotenuse. So converse of 30, 60, 90 degree triangle theorem, angle K will be 30 degrees because the side opposite to 30 is half of the hypotenuse. So you have angle K is 30. Now you have angle MLK as 90. We know sum of all angles of a triangle should be 180. Substituting these two values 90 and 30, you get angle M as 60 degrees. Therefore, whatever they have asked, angle K is 30, angle M is 60 degrees, radius of the circle is 6. We have got those values, the answer is there. Okay children, we go to question number 4. Now what does the question say? Question number 4. In the figure, O is the center of the circle. Segment AB and segment AC are the tangent segments. Radius of the circle is R and length of AB equal to R. Prove that quadrilateral ABOC is a square. So suppose we were to draw OB and OC, you have to prove that that quadrilateral is a square. Now OB and OC are the radii of that circle and we know it is to be written as R. So OB and OC equal to R. They have also given length of AB is R. Okay. Now AB and AC are tangent segments drawn from an external point to the circle and therefore they are congruent. So AB and AC are also R. You have all 4 sides of the figure to be of the same measure, which is R, and hence the figure could be a rhombus. Now see, the figure is drawn, OB and OC are R. AB is given to you as R. By tangent segment theorem, AC is also R. So all 4 distances are the same. Therefore, quadrilateral OBAC is a rhombus. But angle OBA is 90 degrees. Why? By tangent segment theorem. And therefore, a rhombus is a square if one of its angles is 90 degrees. Therefore, quadrilateral ABOC is a square. Okay. So that's how the question has to be done. Now this is your question number 5. I'll read out the question to you. In the figure, quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. So you're given quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. What is the condition? What is the special characteristic of a parallelogram? Opposite sides are parallel and congruent. So AB is congruent to CD. AD is congruent to BC. Okay. Next, it circumscribes the circle with center T. Point E, F, G, H are touching points. If AE is equal to 4.5, EB equal to 5.5, find AD. So your question is to find what is AD. You are given ABCD is a parallelogram. So AE is equal to AH. Similarly, BE equal to BF. Reason, tangent segment theorem. So the tangent drawn from an external point to a circle are congruent. Now since the quadrilateral is a parallelogram, AB equal to CD, AD equal to BC. Mark it as equation number 1. Let DH equal to DG be X, CG equal to CF be Y. Same reason tangent segment theorem. Since we do not know the measures, we consider it to be x and x, y and y. Now, from 1, since AB equal to CD, you have 4.5 plus 5.5, that is AB, equal to what is CD? X plus y. Now go to the other sides. What is AD? 4.5 plus x. AD is equal to BC, 5.5 plus y. Now that's from equation number 1. Okay. Now 4.5 plus 5.5 equal to x plus y we have got. 4.5 plus x is equal to 5.5 plus y we have got. Now bring y to the left hand side. I'll get x minus y is equal to 5.5. Bring 4.5 to the other side of equal to. So it becomes minus 4.5. 5.5 minus 4.5 is 1. So I have got two equations here. X minus y equal to 1 and x plus y equal to 10. I hope children the equations are clear. We have just derived it from those steps which are there written above it. Now when I solve both these equations, minus y and plus y will get cancelled. X plus x is 2x. Add 1 plus 10, 11. Therefore x is equal to 5.5. Now I have got the first equation. I have got x plus y is 10. Substituting the value of x here as 5.5, I'll get y is equal to 10 minus 5.5, which is 4.5. Now, your final question is to find what is AD. AD is 4.5 plus x. So, substitute x as 5.5, you get your answer AD as 10. So, that's your final answer. Okay. We go to question number 6. Question number 6. In figure 3.86, circle with center M touches a circle with center N at point T. Radius Rm touches a smaller circle at S. Radii of circles are 9 cm and 2.5 cm. That means the radius of the big circle MR is 9 cm. The radius of the small circle, if I were to join NT or NS, it is 2.5 cm. Find the answers to the following questions and hence find the ratio MS is to SR. MS is to SR. That's the first part. And then you have been given 3 different things to find out from that question. So how do we do this? So let's go to question number 6. So drawn the figure here. Now NS equal to NT is 2.5 centimeter. MT and MR are 9 centimeter. That is they are radius of the big circle that is given. Now Mn plus Nt is equal to Mt because M dash N dash T, all three are collinear points. Mn plus Nt is 2.5, that's equal to 9. From here I get Mn is 6.5 centimeter. Nt is equal to 2.5. Now Ns is perpendicular to Mr. Reason, tangent theorem, because Ns is the radius of the small circle, Mr is the tangent to it, therefore the angle that it forms is 90 degrees. Now use Pythagoras theorem, ns square plus sm square equal to nm square. Substituting the values, sm we don't know, nm we know is 9 minus 2.5 which is 6.5, we have already found out. Substituting the values there and using the formula a square minus b square. Children, not necessary that we have to use a square minus b square only. If you are comfortable squaring 6.5 and 2.5 and subtracting and getting your answer, no problem. You can do even that method. It is correct. So when you do, your answer comes sm square is 36 and therefore sm is equal to 6 centimeter. Now you know ms plus sr is mr because msr are collinear. We got ms as 6. We know mr is 9. Therefore sr is 9 minus 6 which is 3 centimeter. The first question that you have is to find the ratio ms is to sr. So 6 upon 3, your answer is 2. Now the other things you have already found out. What is mt? Mt is 9. Mn is 6.5 centimeter. Angle NSM is 90 degrees. So these three we have already found out in the process of solving it, and therefore I have written the answers at the end. Okay. Children, I hope that's clear. We now go to question number 8. Question number 8. Oh no, not question number 8, 7. Question number 7, it's a activity based sum, children. So as I'm explaining it here, you can write it with pencil in your textbook and then later write it in your classwork. In the adjoining figure, circles with centers X and Y touch each other at point Z. A secant passing through Z intersects the circles at points A and B respectively. Prove that radius XA parallel to radius YB. Fill in the blanks and complete the proof. So I'll be telling you the answer. You can write it in the blanks with your pencil and then later write it in your classwork. Construction. Draw segments XZ and YZ. So XZ and YZ. YZ. Proof. By theorem of touching circles, points X, Z, Y are collinear. So in that dash you will write collinear. Therefore, angle XZA congruent to, which is the angle opposite to it, angle YZB. So in that dash you will write YZB. You can also write it as angle BZY. Both are correct. They are opposite angles. Let angle XZA equal to angle BZY equal to A. Now, segment XA congruent to segment XZ. What is the reason? Radii of the same circle. So in that answer, within the bracket, you will write radii of the same circle. Therefore, angle XAZ equal to angle XZA equal to A. So in that dash, you are going to write angle XZA because of isosceles triangle theorem. Similarly, segment YB congruent to segment YZ. Reason, radii of the same circle. YB congruent to YZ, segment YZ, radii of the same circle. Angle BZY equal to angle YBZ. Angle YBZ equal to A. What is the reason? Isosceles triangle theorem. Isosceles triangle theorem. From 1 to 3, angle XAZ equal to angle YBZ. Angle YBZ. Therefore, radius XA parallel to radius YB, reason alternate angles. Alternate angles. Okay. Children, I hope it is clear to you. We go to question number 8. Question number 8. In figure 3.88, circles with center X and Y touch internally at the point Z. Segment BZ is a chord of the bigger circle and it intersects the smaller circle at point A. Prove that AX is parallel to BY. This is your question. Now to do this, draw YZ and XZ. Okay. So we connect YZ and XZ. Y dash X dash Z. They are, since it's a theorem of touching circles, it's collinear. The points are collinear. Now in triangle YBZ, segment YB congruent to YZ, radii of the same circle. Angle YBZ congruent to angle YZB, isosceles triangle theorem. Okay. That is angle YBZ congruent to angle XZA. See, angle YZB is written as angle XZA. Reason, Y dash X dash Z and B dash A dash Z. These 3 points are collinear. Mark it as equation number 1. Now take triangle XAZ. Segment XA congruent to segment XZ. Same reason, they are the radii of the same circle, the smaller circle. Angle XAZ congruent to angle XZA, isosceles triangle theorem. Equation 2. Look at equations 1 and 2 on the right hand side. You have the same angle XZA. Therefore, your left hand sides are equal. Angle YBZ is congruent to angle XAZ. But they form a pair of corresponding angles and hence segment AX parallel to segment BY. That's how we need to prove it. Okay. We go to question number 9. Question number 9. In figure 3.89, line L touches the circle with center O at point P. Q is the midpoint of the radius OP. RS is a chord through Q such that the chords RS is parallel to line L. If RS is equal to 12, find the radius of the circle. Now here children, what you need to understand is you have a circle with center O. Now the radius is drawn, that is OP, which is perpendicular to the tangent L. Therefore, you know angle OP, if I were to make a point T there, angle OPT would be 90 degrees. Now OP is the radius. If I were to draw OR, that also would be the radius of the same circle. So OP will be equal to OR. Q is the midpoint of OP, that is OQ equal to QP. What must we find out? We have to find the radius of the circle. You're also given RS is parallel to line L, and you're also given RS is equal to 12. These are the things that are given to you in the question. Now we need to find how to solve this. Let's see how to do it. Okay, now what we do is angle OPT equal to 90 degrees by tangent theorem, radius perpendicular to the tangent. Since angle OPT is 90, it follows that OQ is perpendicular to RS also, right? So you have angle OQR equal to angle OPT. They are corresponding angles. Reason, RS is parallel to the line L that is given. If RS is parallel to the line L, angle OQR and angle OPT form corresponding angles, right? And therefore, since angle OPT is 90 degrees, angle OQR, you will get it is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. Therefore, QR is perpendicular to QS. What is the reason? Perpendicular drawn from the center of a circle to a chord bisects it. We got just now RS is parallel to line L, and therefore you have angle OQR and angle OPT congruent. So we got angle OQR 90 degrees. That's its perpendicular. So the perpendicular drawn from the center of a circle to a chord bisects it, and therefore QR congruent to QS. How much is RS? 12. Therefore QR and QS are how much? 6 each. Okay. So you get it is equal to 6. Let angle OQ equal to QP be equal to X, because Q is the midpoint of OP. So let them both be X. In triangle ORQ, see, look at the triangle ORQ. We have got OQ as X. You have got QR as 6. And how much is the OR? 2x. Why is it 2x? OR is equal to OP and OP is 2x, because OQ is x, QP is x plus x 2x. So OR is 2x. Now use Pythagoras theorem. So 2x the whole square equal to x square plus 6 square. 4x square equal to x square plus 36. Take it to the left hand side. 3x square is 36. So when I find square root of x, root 12, for root 4 into 3, I get 2 root 3. Now x is one part of it, radius is 2 times x. 2 into 2 root 3, your answer is 4 root 3. Okay children? So that's your answer, 4 root 3. Now, question number 10. In figure 3.9, segment AB is the diameter of a circle with center C. Line PQ is a tangent which touches the circle at point T. Segment AP perpendicular to line PQ. Segment BQ perpendicular to line PQ. Prove that CP congruent to segment CQ. Okay, this is your question. Now for construction, I have drawn CT, CP and CQ. Segment AP is perpendicular to line PQ. Segment BQ perpendicular to line PQ. Both these are given. Segment CT is perpendicular to PQ because radius perpendicular to the tangent theorem. Now segment AP is parallel to CT is parallel to BQ. What is the reason? They are all perpendiculars drawn to the same line and therefore they are parallel. If I think we have learned this corollary, perpendiculars drawn to the same segment are parallel to each other. Another reason, it's very easy to understand, if you add the interior angles, they are all supplementary, therefore automatically the lines are parallel. Now using property of three parallel lines and the intercepts, AC upon CB is equal to PT upon TQ. AC upon CB is 1 because both are the radii of the same circle. Therefore, PT equal to TQ. Now, if I consider triangle CPT and CTQ, I get PT is equal to TQ from 1. CT equal to CT is a common side. And angle CTP equal to angle CTQ is 90 degrees. Therefore, by SAS test, I have the two triangles congruent, and therefore segment CP congruent to segment CQ because CSCT. That's how I get it. Now, actually in your portion in chapter 1, this property of three parallel lines and the intercepts is deleted for you. So most probably this particular question may not be asked. But then of course, though they have said deleted, you can do it for your self-study. That is why I have done this question and explained it to you. Okay, children? So with this, we finish question number 10. So from problem set, we have covered the first 10 questions. I want all of you to be doing this in your classwork. Okay. So from the problem set, after exercise 3.4, you will be doing problem set 3 from the first up to the 10. Whatever I've explained, you will be completing it in your classworks. Children, I hope it is clear. And as I told you in the beginning, remember, start preparing for lessons 1 and 2. You'll be having a unit test based on these two chapters. Carefully go through the video and see which are the portion which is deleted, and that will not be asked for your exam. Okay. Children, I hope it's clear. Okay. Thank you.